Dan, tell me who Doc Ellis is and why he's so legendary.
Doc Ellis was a very good pitcher, pitched primarily for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 1970s, but also for the Yankees and the Oakland A's and the Texas Rangers. But he's legendary now because he is, as far as we know, the only Major League ball player to pitch a no-hitter while tripping on LSD. And this is, this was not known at the time. This happened in 1970, and in his book, he wrote a great book with the poet laureate Donald Hall called Doc Ellis in the Country of Baseball. And in that book, which originally came out in 1976, he said that he was, hungover, still buzzed from drinking screwdrivers, and after he retired, it came out that actually he was on acid, and Doc was quite the partier, as several other players of his era were, and he dropped acid with some friends, forgot that he was pitching, and made it to the ballpark and pitched an incredible game, even though he wasn't really aware of what was happening around him, and really kind of had to concentrate on the rainbow path that led from the pitcher's mound to the catcher's mitt. And as long as he put the ball down that path, he was golden.
Pitching a no-hitter would be difficult enough. Pitching it high on LSD, one of the unsung events of the 1970s.
Of any era. I really believe that may be the greatest athletic feat of all time.
Exactly. This is terrible, but I was thinking, I think I might like to see more sporting events conducted on acid. And not me, but them. But,
right, to see what happens. But what's interesting about Doc, and what's interesting about the No-No, the documentary that you're talking about, which I'm also a contributor to, there was so much more to him than that.
Yes.
That's really where the legend of Doc Ellis starts. But he was a really kind of unusual for his era and for his line of work. He was a very intelligent, very curious individual, and he was a partier, yes, but he was always interested in other philosophies. He wore a Star of David and a chai for a while because he was very interested in Judaism, and wound up after he kind of dealt with his own demons and kicked the booze and drugs, wound up becoming a very well-loved drug counselor, especially working with prisoners in the California penal system. Really, people really respected him for his expertise, but also he was a very, very no bullshit kind of guy, and that really came across, both in his pitching and his later work. He was clearly not adverse to having a good time, as clowning around with Chuck Mangione before a Yankees game. That's pretty much a none more '70s photo right there.